Rising from the ashes, the transformative power of self-worth in healing trauma. Imagine a world where every survivor of trauma and abuse could reclaim their power, rebuild their self-worth, and rise from the ashes of their past like a phoenix reborn. A world where the cycle of pain is broken, replaced by a cycle of healing and empowerment. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality that's unfolding right before our eyes, thanks to the courage and wisdom of individuals like Conitra Cowans. I had the incredible privilege of sitting down with Conitra, an inspiring author and survivor who has dedicated her life to helping others overcome trauma and reclaim their self-worth. Her journey from survivor to author of I Didn't Know This Is My Worth is nothing short of remarkable. Conitra's insights have the power to revolutionize how we approach healing from trauma, and I'm honored to share them with you today. Conitra's story is a testament to the indomitable human spirit. She's not just a survivor, she's a warrior, a beacon of hope for countless others who are still struggling in the darkness of their trauma. Her work is changing lives, dismantling the stigma surrounding abuse and trauma, and paving the way for a more compassionate, understanding world. As we delve into the wisdom Conitra shared, I want you to open your heart and mind, whether you're a survivor yourself, supporting someone who is, or simply seeking to understand and make a difference. This message is for you, because the truth is we all have a role to play in creating a world where healing is possible for everyone. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room, trauma. It's a word that carries so much weight, so much pain. But what if I told you that trauma doesn't have to define you? What if I told you that your worth isn't determined by what happened to you, but by the strength within you? This is the revolutionary perspective that Conitra brings to the table. She challenges us to shift our focus from the wounds of the past to the potential of the future. And at the heart of this shift is one powerful concept: self-worth. Now, I want you to take a moment and think about your own sense of self-worth. How do you value yourself? How does this affect your daily life, your relationships, your dreams? For many of us, self-worth is a struggle, but for survivors of trauma and abuse, it can feel like an insurmountable mountain. Conitra's journey illuminates 3 key insights that have the power to transform how we approach healing from trauma. First, the immense power of self-worth. Second, the crucial importance of support systems. And third, the effectiveness of practical strategies for healing. Let's explore each of these in depth and prepare to have your perspective shifted. Let's start with the power of self-worth. It's not just a feel-good concept, it's the foundation upon which all healing is built. Conitra shared a powerful story that brings this point home. Imagine a young woman, let's call her Sarah. Sarah had survived years of abuse, and even though she was physically free from her abuser, she felt trapped in a prison of her own making. Every morning, she'd look in the mirror and see only the broken pieces of herself, defined by the trauma she'd endured. One day, Sarah stumbled upon a support group for survivors. Hesitant and scared, she decided to attend. In that room, surrounded by others who understood her pain, something remarkable happened. For the first time, Sarah began to see herself not as a victim, but as a survivor. She began to recognize her own strength, her own resilience. With the guidance of a compassionate therapist, Sarah started to implement self-care practices. At first, it felt selfish, almost wrong. How could she focus on herself when she felt so broken? But slowly, day by day, these small acts of self-care began to chip away at the walls she'd built around her heart. She started with simple things: taking a few deep breaths when she felt overwhelmed, writing down one thing she was grateful for each day, allowing herself to enjoy a warm bath without feeling guilty. These may seem like small steps, but for Sarah, they were revolutionary acts of self-love. As the weeks turned into months, Sarah noticed a change. The voice in her head that had always been so critical began to soften. She started to see glimpses of her own worth, separate from what had been done to her. And with this newfound sense of self-worth came a surge of strength she never knew she possessed. Sarah's story is not unique. Countless survivors have found that reclaiming their self-worth is the key that unlocks their healing journey. It's not easy. It requires courage, persistence, and compassion for oneself. But it is possible, and it is transformative. Now, let's talk about the importance of support systems. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. We are social creatures wired for connection. And for survivors of trauma, This connection can be both terrifying and life-saving. Consider the story of Marcus. Marcus had always prided himself on being strong, independent. He believed that asking for help was a sign of weakness. So when he found himself struggling to cope with the aftermath of a traumatic event, he tried to soldier on alone. But the weight of his trauma was too heavy to bear alone. His relationship suffered, his work performance declined, and he found himself sinking deeper into depression and anxiety. It wasn't until he reached a breaking point that Marcus finally reached out for help. His first step was joining a support group for survivors. Walking into that room for the first time was one of the hardest things Marcus had ever done, but it was also the beginning of his healing journey. In that group, Marcus found something he didn't even know he was missing: understanding. For the first time, he was surrounded by people who truly got it. They didn't try to fix him or tell him to just get over it. They simply listened, shared their own stories, and offered support. Encouraged by the progress he was making in the group, Marcus also started seeing a therapist. This professional support provided him with tools and strategies to manage his symptoms and work through his trauma. The change in Marcus wasn't overnight, but it was profound. He learned that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage. He discovered that reaching out for help doesn't make him less of a man. It makes him human. And most importantly, he found that he wasn't alone in his struggle. As Marcus built his support system, he found his healing accelerating. The combination of professional help, peer support, and reconnecting with friends and family created a network of care that held him up when he stumbled and celebrated with him when he made progress. Marcus's story highlights a crucial truth: we heal better together. Building a strong support system isn't just helpful for recovery, it's essential. It provides validation, encouragement, and practical help. It reminds survivors that they are not defined by their trauma, that they are worthy of love and support. Now, let's delve into the third key insight: practical strategies for healing. Knowledge is power, but it's the application of that knowledge that truly transforms lives. And this is where the rubber meets the road in the healing journey. Meet Elena. Elena had been in therapy for years, trying to work through her childhood trauma. She understood intellectually that she needed to heal, but she felt stuck. It was as if she was trying to build a house without any tools. Then, Elena discovered the power of positive affirmations. At first, she felt silly standing in front of the mirror, telling herself she was strong, worthy, and capable. The words felt hollow, almost like lies. But she committed to trying it for just 1 week. Every morning, Elena would look herself in the eye and repeat her affirmations. I am worthy of love and respect. I'm strong. I am healing. At first, she didn't believe the words, but she said them anyway. As the days passed, something began to shift. The words started to feel less foreign on her tongue. She began to stand a little straighter, to meet her own gaze in the mirror with a little more confidence. One day, about 2 weeks into her practice, Elena had a breakthrough. As she said her affirmations, she felt a surge of emotion. Tears streamed down her face, but they weren't tears of sadness. For the first time, she truly believed the words she was saying. She felt worthy. She felt strong. She felt like she was healing. This practice became a cornerstone of Elena's healing journey. On good days, it reinforced her progress. On bad days, it was a lifeline, reminding her of her innate worth and strength. But Elena didn't stop there. Encouraged by her success with affirmations, she began to explore other practical strategies for healing. She started a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things she was grateful for each day. She explored mindfulness meditation, learning to ground herself in the present moment when memories of the past threatened to overwhelm her. She also discovered the healing power of creativity. Elena had always loved to draw, but she had given it up years ago. As part of her healing journey, she picked up a sketchbook again. The act of creating became a form of meditation, a way to express emotions that were too complex for words. These practical strategies became Elena's toolkit for healing. They didn't erase her trauma or make the hard days disappear, but they gave her a way to cope, to nurture herself, to actively participate in her own healing. Elena's story teaches us that healing is not passive. It's not something that just happens to us. It's something we actively pursue day by day, moment by moment. It's about building new neural pathways, creating new habits, and slowly but surely rewriting the narrative of our lives. As we reflect on these powerful insights, the importance of self-worth, the crucial role of support systems, and the effectiveness of practical healing strategies, we begin to see a new paradigm for healing from trauma. It's a holistic approach that addresses not just the mind, but the heart and spirit as well. This approach recognizes that healing is not linear. It's not about reaching a destination where all pain is erased. Instead, it's about learning to navigate the ups and downs of life with greater resilience, self-compassion, and hope. But here's the thing. Knowing this information is just the first step. The real challenge and the real opportunity lies in putting it into practice. And that's where you come in. I want to challenge each and every one of you listening right now. Take a moment to reflect on your own journey, whether you're a survivor of trauma, or you're supporting someone who is, or you're simply someone who wants to cultivate more self worth and resilience in your life. These insights apply to you. I challenge you to take the first step towards healing by recognizing the importance of self worth. Start small. Maybe it's looking in the mirror each morning and saying one kind thing to yourself. Maybe it's setting aside 10 minutes each day for a self care activity you enjoy. Maybe it's reaching out to a trusted friend or a therapist to start building that support system. Whatever it is, take that first step and then take another and another. Remember, healing is not a destination, it's a journey. And every step you take is progress, no matter how small it might seem. But I want to push you even further. I want you to consider how you can be part of the change we need in our world. How can you create safe spaces for survivors to share their stories? How can you challenge the stigma surrounding trauma and mental health in your community? How can you be a beacon of hope and understanding for those who are still struggling in silence? Because here's the truth. Healing from trauma is not just an individual journey. It's a collective one. Every time one of us heals, we create ripples of change that touch countless others. Every time we speak our truth, we make it safer for others to do the same. Every time we extend compassion to ourselves, we become more capable of extending it to others. Imagine a world where every survivor of trauma knows deep in their bones that they are worthy of love, respect, and healing. Imagine a world where support and understanding are readily available to all who need it. Imagine a world where we have the tools and strategies to navigate even the darkest of times with resilience and hope. This is the world we can create together. It starts with us. It starts now. It starts with recognizing our own worth, reaching out for support when we need it, and committing to the daily practice of healing. So I ask you, are you ready to be part of this change? Are you ready to reclaim your worth, to build your support system, to implement practical strategies for healing? Are you ready to rise from the ashes of your past and become a beacon of hope for others? The journey won't be easy. There will be days when it feels impossible. But remember the stories of Sarah, Marcus, and Eleanor. Remember that healing is possible. Remember that you are worthy of that healing. You have the power within you to transform your life and to contribute to the healing of our world. Will you accept this challenge? Will you take that first step today? The world is waiting for your light. It's time to let it shine. Thank you.